Hello, Lovable Diva 1, Kathy Hamilton here, and I wanted to do a follow-up video regarding how to make really good decisions and feel really good about the decisions that you're making when it comes to doing different coaching programs or even getting individually coached, because there's so many options out there. It does create a lot of noise for us, and it can be challenging sometimes to know if the program that you're choosing is right for you. And I know I mentioned in the last video how just kind of to assume that whatever you've done from zero to now, when you realize that something can be different, to accept that as your truth. And what I mean by that is that, a lot of times we'll start doing these programs and we'll again go back in time and think that somehow at 2 years old we should have known better, or at 6 months old we should have known better. When we were in the womb, we should have known better, because now we have all this this new knowledge based on our decades of experience. And what that does is we end up just rewounding ourselves. So again, like I said in the last video, what we really are trying to do whenever we're doing any program whatsoever is more of that self-discovery, and also changing the parameters and the conditions we've put on ourselves of how we're measuring our success. And, it really has nothing to do with us. And again, we are lovable and powerful simply because we are here. We're here, we are lovable and powerful. And it really becomes all about starting to look at life and what you've done and what you're doing through that lens, the I'm lovable, I'm powerful lens. And so any program that's out there, and a lot of times, it might be that the target market that whatever the program's for might not fit you, but for some reason you're drawn to the program. And again, for that, it's like that's okay, because just because maybe you're not a business person, maybe you're not an entrepreneur, maybe you're not trying to build a coaching business, or you're not trying to lose weight, or you're not trying to get healthy, or you're not trying to do whatever the program is designated for, or trying to make more money. But there's something about it that keeps calling to you. Again, my suggestion is to go back, list out what it is that you really want to accomplish. And then also kind of going back to those specifics, and what is it that you want to feel? So if all those things were true about you, if you did double the income, if you did lose the weight, if you did have this health crisis disappear, if you were in the relationship of your dreams, whatever it is, how would that make you feel? And if you tune into that program and there's something about that program that keeps calling to that part of you that wants to feel that way, then by all means do it. And again, if it doesn't, if you're really just trying to almost like strong arm yourself into having this result, because a lot of things are enticing, these quick fix enticing things, because we are all in pain and we all want to do them. So it can get a little tricky. So really just take a step back, be present with yourself, and ask yourself what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and really more so directly, how are you trying to feel? Because, once you take all those conditions and parameters out of the mix, and you really are left with the fact that you're lovable and powerful, and if this program can help you feel that way, go for it. And I think too, we keep putting this pressure on ourselves, and we really just don't have to do it. So again, one other thing too, with different healing modalities, and certain programs will offer different healing modalities. And I think a lot of times, if you haven't really worked with a particular healing modality and it's new to you, you do, of course, put that criteria on it. Like, okay, whatever the quick fix promise is for that program, if when you're doing this healing modality, it's not working, you can think that you're doing it wrong, or somehow you're wrong. So maybe this can work for everybody else, but it can't work for you. And again, I just want to highlight for you that when you do put attention on places that you're not normally used to looking at and really feeling into, those really wounded parts of ourselves, a lot of times it's not that the healing modality is not working. It's just that part of you is so excited for you to be seeing it. It's going to keep expressing whatever that emotion is, so that a lot of times you won't feel like an instant relief in the traditional sense. So what you have to start doing instead is maybe just pay more attention to, does the feeling last as long? Is it getting worse? Is the feeling getting stronger the more you're focusing on it? And that's actually good. because again, it's really loving the attention that you're giving it to. And I kind of liken that to a leaky faucet. But once you kind of realize that the faucet's leaking, all of a sudden, like, you could be in 3 rooms away and you can hear that leaking faucet. You're trying to fall asleep at night and you can hear the leaking faucet. And it's not like that faucet's leaking any worse than it was maybe even a day ago. It's just that you happen to put your attention on it and you're thinking, okay, now I've got to get that fixed. I've got to call a plumber. I've got to get some tools, or I've got to go get the supplies from a store. And you're kind of listing all these things out in your mind. That's what's keeping your attention on the leak. And the same thing happens with our emotions. And when you're actually allowing yourself to feel anger for the first time, or even if it's not for the first time, if you're feeling it in a different way than you had before, that's great. It is going to keep coming up and bubbling to the surface because it wants to keep your attention on it, because it wants to clear. It wants to be made peace with. It doesn't want to stay stuck in this position. It wants to be able to free flow. I mean, the anger doesn't want to stay angry. Sadness doesn't want to stay sadness. Truthfully, even the happy, it's like you've got to flow in and out of all of them. And that's kind of how it makes the process that much more powerful, and how you experience your power, because you are flowing in and out of your emotions. Nothing is staying stagnant. So when it comes to choosing these programs for you, again, just really, it's not so much about the quick fix that's offered. That's the enticing marketing. And I think a lot of times, even now, I think maybe we're all getting tired of feeling like we have to do everything in a week or 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever it is, where we're kind of really tuning into the fact that we know we're in it more for the long haul. And I know that's where, even where I might be marketing to you per se, or where my brand is in that I'm not going for the quick fix for people anymore. I'm not my target market is not a specific type of person who does X. Outside of it's people that really want to go deep, and maybe they have tried other things before and they're really still feeling stuck. Because again, I want you to have a PhD in you. I want you to know who you are, what you want, why you want it, why you haven't been able to have it, how you can find it, where you can find it now. And also really realizing too, like, okay, there's certain things that you're going to want that it really is meant, you already have it inside of you to have it. You really don't even have to work for it. It's just more going within to find it. And that's the other shiny objects, which is just wanting for the sake of wanting. And those are the things that really, the fleeting things that you'll think, oh, I want that. But you'll kind of use those shiny objects as proof that you can't have what you want. And that's not it at all. It's just that that's not really meant for you, because you're just wanting at that moment for the sake of wanting, which is just part of the human process. So, in order to be able to kind of discern which is which, really just sit with yourself, and also just sit with those programs and give yourself permission to say no. And if I have a program on that, you can go to my products and programs page and look that up, of just really how to use your no power to really help you get in tune with what is right for you. But again, just take a step back and think about what it is that you're wanting to feel, what you're trying to accomplish with that. And I'm not really even talking specific goals in mind. Like, yes, they are important, but really it's the feelings that you want underneath that. That's where the magic is going to happen. That's where the healing is going to happen. And so, depending on whatever the program is, the quick fix, just think about it, feel into it, and don't try to shame yourself with it. And whether or not the program is your target market, or not, or whatever market you're in, if it doesn't all necessarily apply 100%, that's okay. There's something in that person that is going to resonate with you, and that part of you, they may be talking about wealth, and you may need it to heal a health issue, but something in whatever they're teaching about the wealth is going to help you do that. So it doesn't always have to be a total matchup. So it really becomes a matter of just trusting your gut. Okay, well, I think that is it for now, and I will be with you again soon. Love you.